Hi, everybody. I'm Pratibha Agarwal. I'm an immigration attorney. I am based right outside of Washington, D.C. in Arlington, Virginia. Our clients are all throughout the United States. Happy Friday. And I hope everyone is getting ready for the weekend and you have great plans ahead. I'm here today to answer immigration questions. If you have immigration questions, please feel free to pop them in. We are streaming live on both Facebook and on TikTok. So I am taking questions from both platforms. Sorry, I am in a new space. As if you've joined me before, you will see that I'm in a new space. And I'm just trying to get everything adjusted. So apologies for any kind of weirdness on my part. All right, so go ahead and put your questions in. I'm happy to answer them for you. Just as a heads up, there is nothing that you say to me today is going to create any kind of attorney-client relationship. This is just to provide information for you on immigration. So we handle all types of immigration cases, and I can answer your questions no matter if it's a business immigration, if it is based on humanitarian immigration cases like asylum or a U visa, or if you're seeking questions about your individual application or your family-based cases. So we handle only immigration cases, and I'd be happy to answer your questions. If you would like for our firm to help you, you can certainly call us for a consultation. You can reach us at 703-348-1663. Again, that's 703-348-1663. All right, great. And if you don't already like us or follow us on Facebook or on TikTok, go ahead and do that, because that way you'll be notified anytime that we go live, and you'll be able to ask your questions or let others know that might have questions, or tune in to watch and learn more about U.S. immigration law. All right, so go ahead and put your questions in, and thank you so much for joining. Hi, Sabj. Hi, Kevin. We have a number of people here on TikTok and also on Facebook. All right, great. So I'm going to start off with our question for the day. So we actually start off when I go live. I will put up a question for the day that comes up pretty often in our practice, or people have asked me in a consultation, and I think that might be helpful to you. All right, and while I'm talking about this, feel free to type yours in, and I will get to you before signing off for the night. And thank you again for joining me. If you're just tuning in, my name is Pratibha Agarwal. I'm an immigration attorney. I help clients all throughout the United States with all sorts of immigration issues. We're streaming live on multiple platforms. If you don't already like us on Facebook, go ahead and do that so you'll be notified every time I go live. Same with TikTok. We are at Agarwal Immigration is our handle, at AGARWAL Immigration. That is our handle. All right, so let me go ahead and get to our question for the day, which is this. How much money do I need to make in order to sponsor someone for a green card? So again, that's how much money do I need? How much money do I need to be earning in order to sponsor another person for a green card, right? This will be a surprise to most people. So for most people, it is under $30,000 a year, right? So it could even be $22,000 a year. So it completely depends on the number of people in your household. That is the amount of money you would need to earn. As the number of people in your household that depend on you increases, the amount that you need to earn also increases. But for most people, if you're single and just getting married and sponsoring that person, it is approximately around $25,000 per year. So if we can help you with your green card application, feel free to give us a call. We're at 703-348-1663. My name again is Pratibha Agarwal, and I handle all types of immigration cases all throughout the United States. All right, so I have a couple of questions here on TikTok, so let me go ahead and hop on that. Hi, Sabj. Sabj is saying, or Sabji is saying, hi, how many days to get a work permit? Okay, usually the answer, how many days to get a work permit? So typically, a work permit takes about 6 months or so to be approved. How can I get a work permit is another question that we get pretty often. And remember that a work permit is based on other applications. So it could be based on a pending green card application, it could be based on a humanitarian case, or maybe something where another type of visa is not yet available. Okay, so a work permit is not applied for on its own without anything else. Usually it's tied to some other kind of immigration application. So you can apply for a work permit, and it might take a different amount of time based on what the underlying basis of your application is. So generally, it takes about 6 months or so for you to receive a work permit. So we give our clients a time frame about 6 to 8 months. If you're interested in obtaining a work permit, if you don't know if you qualify, give us a call. We can help you assess whether or not you might be eligible for a work permit. You can reach us at 703-348-1663. You can call us for a consultation. We would love to help you. Hi, Baljinder. Nice to see you. Hi, Sunny. Nice to see you. Another question that we get pretty often is, if you're going to a green card interview, let's say you're going to a marriage-based green card interview, and does your spouse need to go with you? So the answer is yes, your spouse needs to go with you. What happens if your spouse was supposed to come with you to your green card interview, they sponsored your green card, but now you're having issues in your marriage? What happens at that point if your spouse doesn't go, or they intentionally mess up your green card interview? What can you do? So you might be eligible to apply for a green card on your own, right? So you can do it if your spouse is a US citizen or a green card holder. If you went to your interview and your spouse didn't come, or your spouse came to the interview with you but kind of messed it up intentionally as part of this whole string of abusive behavior in a marriage. If your spouse is abusing you, it could be psychologically, verbally, financially, it could also be physically, which it's not required necessarily. You might qualify for a green card on your own without your spouse. Call us for a consultation. We help a lot of clients in this situation. You can reach us at 703-348-1663. Hi, Sunny. Sunny says, is it possible for someone to get an I-360 or an I-485 approval the same time without an interview at the Vermont Service Center? So the type of application that Sunny is talking about is a VAWA I-360 petition. Right, so again, this is the type that I was discussing earlier. It is for people that are married to a US citizen or a green card holder, and they're in an abusive relationship, or they've just divorced basically from an abusive spouse who's a US citizen or a green card holder. You might be eligible to get a green card on your own. So Sunny's question again is it possible for someone to get an I-360 or an I-485, which is the green card application, approved at the same time without an interview at the Vermont Service Center? So most of the time you need an interview. So for the green card portion, you will need an interview. All right, if you have a spouse that's abusive, you go to that interview. It's just for you, for your green card application, if you qualify for the green card. Okay, so if you have a spouse that's abusive, you will have a green card interview. At this interview, they will not ask you details, or they're not permitted to ask you details about the abuse, right? They will confirm your biographic information and other details about your entries and exits, and if you are eligible to receive a green card. Are you a communist? Are you a terrorist? But they are not required to ask about, they're not permitted to ask about the abuse. Okay, so yes, most likely you're going to have an interview. It is unlikely to not have an interview in a case, in a VAWA self-petition case. Okay, I hope I answered your question, Sunny. Give me a call if you have questions. If other people watching this are in a relationship with a US citizen or a green card holder, you might be eligible to receive a green card. The whole process takes about 2 to 2.5 years. You can apply on your own if your spouse is abusive. It could be emotionally abusive, physically abusive, verbally. There's many different forms of abuse, but give us a call to see if you can qualify. If your spouse is a US citizen or a green card holder, you can reach us and schedule a consultation. And the way to call and schedule is 703-348-1663. All right, we have a few other questions here. So, 703-348-1663. Someone is saying that I filed a VAWA because I felt I was in an unfair process. Yes, absolutely. So if you're married to a U.S. citizen or a green card holder, you can qualify to apply on your own. So this is someone else. This is Alsman, has also applied for a VAWA. So there are so many benefits to VAWA. So if you're married to a U.S. citizen or green card holder, you're in this relationship where you're having lots of problems in your marriage, you might qualify to apply on your own. So what happens is, one, if you don't have status or if you entered illegally, you can still qualify for a green card, right? And you can get permission almost within 2 to 3 months. You'll be protected. So you won't have to leave the United States. Let's say you run into a police officer, or you get a speeding ticket or get into a car accident and that's not your fault. You're protected. You'll receive protection to remain in the U.S. Okay, in about 6 to 8 months after you apply, you'll get work authorization and you'll get travel authorization. So if you're here without status, you may have not been back home for a very long time. All right, you may not have been back home for a very long time, and so you would get travel authorization, allowing you to go back and forth while your green card application is pending. And then about 2 to 2.5 years after we apply, you would get a green card. And if you're married to a U.S. citizen, get this, if you're married to a U.S. citizen, you'd be eligible to apply for citizenship, for U.S. citizenship, after 3 years of holding a green card. So there's a huge benefit to this. If you or someone you know is in this situation, they should take action and really kind of benefit from this bad experience that they're having in their marriage. Okay, you can call us for a consultation. We can let you know if you qualify. We're at 703-348-1663. Sunny on Facebook is asking, I have a VAWA pending for almost 3 years now, and I responded to an RFE 4 months ago. How long do you think I have to wait, or can I reach a congressman? Yes, that's another thing that you can do. So if you have an application pending, usually VAWA applications, this is for people that are married to abusive spouses that are either U.S. citizens or green card holders, the whole process will take usually about 2 to 2.5 years. If additional information is required, the government will issue what's called a request for evidence. So they might want to see more information that you live together. At some point, they might want to see more information about the abuse. They might want to verify that your marriage was valid. So there may be different reasons why the government might want additional information. So that's usually a letter that's sent to your lawyer if you're using an attorney, and the lawyer will work with you to respond to that request for evidence. Okay? If you usually have about 80 days to respond to any request for evidence. And I think that Sunny's asking how long after the response will it take to get a decision. I think it should be in a couple of months. Okay, I think it should be usually in a couple of months. So if you aren't getting a decision, what can you do? If you aren't getting a decision, what can you do? And so if you don't have a decision on your case, what you can do is reach out to a congressperson or a senator. Many have someone designated in their office to respond to immigration questions to help facilitate your immigration application. So you should reach out to the congressperson, the senator in your state. That's the best way to do it, and they can help you speed things along. If that doesn't work, there's another option, which is filing a lawsuit against the government in federal court, and you can demand a decision. All federal agencies are required to process their cases, to complete their work in a reasonable time frame. So when it's been something like this, where it's over 3 years and it's way outside of normal processing times, you can basically force the government to make a decision in your case. Right? And that is through a federal lawsuit. If we can help you figure that out, if we can help you with the steps for that, or help you file this case yourself, you can give us a call at 703-348-1663. All right. Sanjay says, can I apply for an I-485 as my I-130 is approved, but I'm in removal proceedings? What should I do? If your I-130 is approved, which is really good, and you are in removal proceedings, you can apply for I-485 in court. So you can seek adjustment of status in court. So you'll have to prove all of the same things as if you had to do it with USCIS, but you can request that relief in court. Okay, so you'll have to prove that your marriage is real and not just for immigration purposes. You'll have to prove all of the other factors that are required for an I-485. All right? If your court date keeps on extending, yes, I mean, there's unfortunately with COVID, your court date can keep on moving. All right. All right, great. Well, Sanjay, I'm happy. I'm happy that I was able to help you. Thank you. And thank you, everyone, for joining. Happy Friday again. I will be on answering your questions. If you don't already like us on Facebook or follow us on TikTok, make sure you do that so you can get updates on when I go live. All right. Again, I'm an immigration attorney. I only handle U.S. immigration law. Feel free to reach out to us. We do our consultations by phone or by Zoom based on your preference. And you can just let my assistant know when you call to what your preference is. And that's how we'll handle your consultation. All right. Well, great. Thank you so much for joining. And I will see you next week. Bye, everybody.